True crime is not something you usually see in the YA section. In fact, true crime is usually buried in the darkest corner of most bookstores.
Who Killed Christopher Goodman by Allan is the closest YA will ever get to true crime. Its last attempt with Project Cain is something we don't speak of, ever.
Who Killed Christopher Goodman is obviously about a boy passing away from cancer. No. Sorry, it's about a murder, or at least the events leading up to a murder.
It's a simple story. It's set in the 70s and it follows 6 kids living in the small town of Goldsburg, Virginia, and what's going on in their lives right before the murder.
And one of them is a killer.
And it's pretty obvious from page 1 which kid will eventually kill Christopher Goodman.
Was it A, the shy female stamp collector with a crush on Chris? Was it B, the track star with Tourette's? Or was it C, the boy who had a crush on the stamp collector? It could have been D, the farm girl. Oh, it might have been E, the poor kid who taxidermies roadkill. Or it might have been F, the abused foster kid who was repeatedly screwed over by the system. Any bets?
If you guessed anything other than F, clearly you have been smoking something.
The book doesn't present much of a mystery, but I don't think that was the author's intention when writing it.
The book was written based off of the author's own hometown murder of a boy who lived across the street from him.
The story comes across as the author's attempt to work through the emotions that he himself went through after the murder. That makes the part where he works through his emotions, i.e. the last 10 pages, the strongest part of the novel.
All 6 characters have their own problems, especially Leonard, the above-mentioned murderous foster kid.
There's no doubt in your mind that the foster kid will be the one to kill Christopher Goodman. He came from a broken home, his mother abused substances, and taught him how to lie and steal, as well as leaving him to take care of his younger siblings. He's been bounced from foster home to foster home, and has been barred from visiting with his younger siblings. And on top of that, he's stuck with a pair of holier-than-thou foster parents.
Compared to Leonard, the other 5 characters are clean and innocent.
He doesn't exactly break any molds. He's precisely what you think of when you imagine a teen killer's life.
But while Leonard's backstory isn't particularly interesting, it's hard to take issue with it because it does illustrate how someone can be easily screwed up by the social system.
It's just that no awards are going to be given for his characterization, or the characterization of the other characters for that matter.
The other 5, Mildred, Hazel, Doc, Squib, and Hunger, are your average characters with one defining characteristic, which is listed at the top of each of their chapters.
They each get short little vignettes, which doesn't exactly lend to much character exploration.
But while the 5 don't get a lot of characterization, they are very different people. You're not going to get them confused with each other or anything.
The final person of note is our murderee, Christopher Goodman.
He does wander in and out of each person's little vignette and makes an impression on them, but ultimately Christopher Goodman is not someone that the characters know very well.
He walks around in ginormous bell-bottom pants. He shakes people's hands when he meets them, plays an instrument, looks at the world a little differently than everyone else, and is just an all-around good guy.
He's that person from around high school that you knew of but weren't exactly friends with, but you always remember how they passed away in some untimely manner.
Which was the author's point, so good job there.
The best part of this book was the atmosphere, though. Wolf does an excellent job bringing you back to the late 70s, and it has that whole small town feel before video games, cell phones, back when disco was still a thing. It really hits you.
It feels like the book has that same grainy feel as one of those old 90s crime docs.
It's hard to describe, but the atmosphere pervades the book, and it gives you the sense that you've gone back in time.
Who Killed Christopher Goodman doesn't exactly live up to the mystery that the title implies, but it does give you that true crime murderish feel that you were promised in a way that doesn't make you want to lobotomize yourself.
We're looking at you, Project Cain.
It's a short read. You can knock it back in about 3 hours max.
It'll casually keep you interested, but as we said, it's the last few pages where the 5 kids are looking back, trying to figure out if they were somehow culpable for the murder because they weren't in the right place to stop it. That's the most powerful part of the novel.
If you're not a true crime fan, murderino, or just not interested in a murder without a mystery, this book may not be for you.
If you're looking for a short read with a fairly unique subject, then you might enjoy Who Killed Christopher Goodman.